Hungry? Order your favorite meals and drinks from hundreds of restaurants through the best app and have your food delivered to your doorstep. Download the AfriDelivery app now.
And so I wanted to get the big guys. So I decided to ask.
And who are the big guys?
So you're talking about Debonaires, Steers, Nando's, all this.
Okay.
And then I one of the brands, I decided to go strike a deal with the franchisee. Not knowing that the imaging of the brand is controlled by the franchise owner. So there's certain branding you can't put there. So the franchisee, the store owner, is desperate for sales. So I just tell him, I'll deliver for you, put our branding material here, so on and so forth. The next day I hear that someone is looking for me. My phone has been ringing off the hook at the office. Apparently my branding was taken down, cut into pieces, because this store is not allowed to have any other brand in there. And I was like, okay, cool. So I call. I'm like, I heard there was an issue. The guy, the other end is shouting, what's the issue? So me, I'm asking what's the issue. The guy is saying, you can't just walk into a brand and put your branding. I'm like, but the store owner told me I could do that. The contract was between me and the store owner. Now I understand it, but back then I didn't. And also I didn't understand why he had to be so rude. That was my biggest worry. And I was anyway, that's how business is. I just didn't know back then. So I asked him for a meeting. I'm like, can we meet and discuss this? Maybe you'll be interested. This is something nice. It's the future. It's inevitable. So it's either you take it now or you take it later. Choose one. Yeah. So the guy said, sure, we'll meet.
The same guy who's been shouting at you.
Yeah, we'll meet on a certain day at a certain time. I got there on that day, on that time. And the guy, I called him. The guy had already made other plans. He didn't even show up. He sent me his interns. And the interns came in and said, how many bags do you have? I said, I've got 5. At that time, I had 5. So it was a bit back. He said, man, even your bags at this particular point cannot even deliver for my smallest store. I'm like, but if the bags are needed, I'll add more. I was just saying that and I didn't even know how I was going to add more. But anyway, so I was like, man, why would I park 15 bags there if I don't have 100 something deliveries to deliver that I require 15 bags for? So just give me your store. So eventually that store came to close. Shame. Yeah.
But they didn't give you.
So eventually they came on board way later after.
But at that time they just laughed.
No, they just laughed me off, and it was a very sad meeting. Remember after that meeting I went and I parked somewhere under a tree. I cried for some time and I moved on. And I said I'll never deliver for fast food joints again. I'll never pursue them. Yeah. There's a lot of crying in entrepreneurship. For those who don't know.
Yeah, it's necessary to cry.
Crazy, yeah. And I decided to just focus with my fine dining restaurants and so on. So come 2019, I think it was early 2019.
What have you grown to at this time?
I'm still maybe 12, 15 bikes. Now the business is big. I'm doing at least 70, 80 deliveries. Then now you're okay.
At 2019?
Yeah.
You're able to break even?
No, never. I think I only broke even the other day. Anyway, so 2019 is when I got my big break, Nando's. Yeah, so that was a proper brand to have on AfriDelivery. So I have a meeting with them, I discuss with them, get into a very nice partnership. We noticed that our brands have got some elements we'd like to share.
We had Nando's on our first day here, the day we were shooting a Belchungu.
That's my family, great brand. Those are my people.
In fact, he's the one who ordered it. I was like, Nando's? Like, yeah, I don't know, it's obvious. A Belchungu.
Oh, cool.
So the day I was shooting him, he was just like, so I'm like, what do you want for lunch?
Oh,
yeah, I'm
okay.
thinking Thai. The guy's like, no, Nando's. I'm like, Nando's?
Yeah, that's a huge brand.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I got them on the platform. That's
okay. How did you convince them with your 12 bikes to get on the platform?
They called me.
Oh, they called you.
Yeah. I think I had tried to speak to them earlier.
Wonderful. So
Yeah.
by the way, at this time, all your bikes are branded, yeah?
Yeah, majority of them. Not sure whether they're all branded, but majority of them.
Yeah, no, I mean in this season.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who approached you.
Yeah, I think they those guys are companies that invest millions of dollars in research.
Yeah.
So they knew delivery is a huge part of their business. And they knew in the future this would be equally huge.
Nice.
Yeah. So we started conversations with their manager at that point. His name was Yost. Very smart guy, very open-minded guy. And then I met the GM. We had conversations. We discussed about quality standards, so on, how the brand expects. And we said, let's give it a shot with one store, 2 stores.
Okay, so the one store becomes successful.
Yeah.
So one store means that on your app, how does the audience know? How does the end user know it's just one store?
So we just match the store to a certain audience. So we test it in a certain area. Yeah, and then.
But does that mean if I download the app and I'm in a different region, I won't see it?
No.
Oh man, so your app can do geo mapping.
That's how it's built. Yeah. So you can only see stores based on a certain area.
For real?
Yeah. So the good thing about Nando's, they've got stores everywhere.
Yeah.
So if you're here, I can link you to this store. If you're in Ibex where I stay, I can link you to a store there. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I'm not in an area of Nando's and I download the app, I won't see the option of Nando's there.
No. We do that to control quality. We don't want the food getting to you 2 hours later.
Yo, that's incredible.
Cold and in bad conditions. So yeah, you have to do that.
Okay, I didn't think the app could be that.
Yeah.
Your app was that sophisticated. That's really good. Okay, so you get Nando's on board.
Yeah.
First store, wonderful. They're happy.
Yeah.
What are the things that made them happy?
The revenues, first of all. They were doing great numbers. They were doing good numbers at that time. But what they liked is the growth. So they saw some level of growth that they liked. They were like, you know what? This is working. It has never gone down, that growth.
And for you, did you feel the impact as soon as they came on board?
Yeah.
In fact, you must have. Did you position yourself to ensure that target audience was constantly?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to. So
You get a dedicated bike for Nando's?
Not bikes. Bikes. This is when now your fleet has moved from 12, 16 to 20 something.
What?
Yeah. So you know what happened? The advantage, a new player came into the market, bike seller. He came to AfriDelivery. He's like, I want you guys to buy from me. I'm like, okay, give me a better deal. He's like, pay 20% deposit, down payment, pay the rest later in a year or so. I did my research. I asked Maria to test these bikes. Are they nice? I'm like, yes. So if I wanted 5 bikes, one bike was like $1,000. If I wanted 5 bikes,
you pay $1,000.
Pay $1,000.
Ooh, that guy was sharp.
And that's how I grew my fleet to 30 something, 20 something.
And a lot of those you dedicated to Nando's.
Not necessarily.
But the demand was there.
Yeah, I never dedicate any bike to a certain store. I just make sure they've got enough bikes to share.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the day you put Nando's live, you felt the impact as a business?
Of course, it took time. I mean, you don't instantly.
Oh, it's not instant?
Growth. No.
Okay.
So, yeah. So once that, then every other brand trickled down.
Now they started calling you?
They started calling, yeah. And I'm still onboarding them for free, yeah. They're not paying anything.
But do they pay? After
At that time, no.
Okay.
And then at some point I was like, oh man, this is too much work. I need to start charging now.
The onboarding.
Yeah. Then I started charging. But all that
because they now are coming to you.
Yeah.
So you're getting different brands coming to you and you're like, listen, if you want us on, and are these brands all restaurants? Right now your business app hasn't diversified into anything else.
No.
2019 you're only restaurants.
2019 is when I moved from restaurants to, I think my next move was pharmacies. Pharmacies and supermarkets. Most of this happened in 2019.
What made you move to pharmacy? Were you approached?
No. I noticed our customers needed that. So my customers would order food and then they would ask the rider, pass through this place and get me this. Pass through the supermarket and buy me milk. Pass through the pharmacy and get me Panadol. Pass through here and get me a matchbox or whatever. Buy me cigarettes. I'm like, if these guys are buying all these things, why not just get stores that are selling these things
Add them on.
And it become a super app.
Yeah, okay. Oh, I'll come to the diversification in a bit.
Yeah.
At this time, are you still over the counter? So I buy Nando's and I'm paying.
No. So now the conversation has changed to I'll pay you every week.
Of course, Nando's were cool with that.
No.
Oh, Nando's weren't?
Yes. Those are big brands, my friend.
Yeah.
You can't mess around with their cash like that. Prove yourself.
But you proved yourself and then you're like...
Yeah, of course, you start properly. Yeah. I learned a lot of lessons after that deal.
Such as?
Such as not all cash coming in is yours. Yeah? Yeah. All that money doesn't belong to the business. You've got yours. Keep it. Calculate your moves. Never use short-term money for long-term investments.
Like, what does that mean?
If I'm supposed to pay you on Friday, I shouldn't use the money that I owe you
to go buy a bike.
Yeah. Because that bike will only pay me 2 years from now. And I want money to pay you. I don't have money to pay you this Friday that you need your money. That was the worst mistake I made. Because
you're holding a lot of cash, but that cash is not yours.
You're holding a lot of cash, that cash is not yours. Even the employees think that money is theirs. So fraud cases increased a lot. Yeah. So you started having employees stealing from you? Yeah, a lot.
So how do you fix that?
I think I remember in 2019 I lost about $40,000.
Hold on, rewind. So what are your turnovers like? $40,000, we're talking 40 million?
Yeah, something like that.
No, dude, 4 million. 40,000, no, 400,000, yeah, 4 million. Yeah, 400,000, 4 million.
Lost.
Still, that's a lot of money.
How much is that in every month? Yeah. When I was doing my audits.
If that's 400,000 a month.
Yeah.
Even if I'm doing just by 10 months.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. One employee stole 60-something thousand here. That was about 680,000 shillings in about 6 months. 7 months. He went and opened himself a small shop, hardware. Man.
So first of all, how do you find out that they're stealing? Secondly, how do you prevent them from stealing?
Audits. So you look for loopholes now. So your full-time job now moves from you growing the company to looking for loopholes. Have you expanded
at this time?
No.
Okay, good.
To what?
To more than one store? To more than one more than one city?
No.
Okay, good.
I only expanded last year in August.
Okay, we'll come to that.
Yeah.
We'll come to that, and we'll also come to this whole cash flow thing.
Yeah.
So, but in the beginning, what I'm trying to find out is, guys have started stealing from you.
Yeah.
Where are they stealing from?
So payment methods, most of them. So for example, if you place an order and you pay cash, okay, they would say that the money was paid through mobile money because they know mobile money is only audited later. And they receive the cash and put it in their pockets.
But when you audit later, wouldn't you find out?
It was also negligence on our side as a business. Because you see, the cash is there. It's just not yours. Yeah. So like, it's fine. It's not like today where it's done every day before you close shop. Before we close shop, you know how much money you've lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we find it. People leave at the office 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. If you don't have a proof of payment, you sit there until it comes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So you started firing people, taking them to court. Did you involve police?
Yeah, twice.
Did they give you back money?
A couple of them have been locked up.
And they don't give back?
Sometimes some of them try to negotiate. Yeah. It's a whole, and it's sad because the guys that I don't know, I hope I didn't press anything. No. The guys that are unfortunately some of the best performers and the ones that take advantage of because you like them. And that's also the mistake I made. I showed some favor. I think it was also a weakness.
What has having employees taught you?
Okay, so there's a very thin line between you being kind to them, you being nice to them, and you being a fool. That line is very, very thin. And if you're not able to tell, you will lose it. So me, I'm very kind to my employees. I listen to their problems, but I'm not a fool when I decide. Okay, first of all, they know that you can send me a message anytime. It doesn't mean I'll respond instantly, but I will see it at some point. But especially now, I don't make instant decisions. If you want money, I might recommend that you receive it through the right channels, whether it's an advance, whether it's a loan, or whether it's anyhow your overtime or whatever. Yeah, certain procedures that are supported by supporting documents, by supporting departments. Yeah.
So they just come and tell me, oh, I need school fees. My.
I will listen, but I will send it to the first of all your human resources. Then she will send it to the accounts to find out that there's enough money to give you. If there's not enough money, then they can come to me and ask me as a director and say, oh. And I told them it's easier for me to give them a personal cash
Than the company cash.
The company's cash. So if you want personal money from me, ask from me personally.
But that's different.
That's different.
That one we're talking on a different.
And you only ask once.
Oh man. Okay. So in this season, you signed on Nando's. The big boys have started coming to you.
I think Nando's was the biggest boy. I mean,
No. What I mean is you've signed Nando's, and more people now. People have been calling you rather than you running around.
Now I've got more than 100 restaurants. Now I'm good.
Yo.
Yeah.
Also, second, another thing, payment now, you have different payment terms. I'll pay you every week, every month, whatever payment terms you have with the different people. But now I want to hear about the diversification into other products. So supermarkets, pharmacies, was it easier to go now? That's expansion, but expansion of.
It wasn't as hard because first of all, the infrastructure is there.